Unit 4 Elements of Writing. In the beginning, let's look at the shaping strategies. Strategies are depend on the essay type and rhetorical modes. There are many rhetorical modes like description, narration, argument, compare and contrast, cause and effect. Now looks rhetoric. Rhetoric refers to the way we adopt to communicate effectively. Rhetorical strategies help us to reach out our audience. We should ensure that the reader accepts our views. In academic writing, usual modes are discussion, persuasion, argument, compare and contrast, cause and effect, defining and classifying. Narration and description are popular modes writing in creative writing. Number 1. Narration. Most suitable for relating sequences of events and thoughts. It can be fictional or non-fictional. For example, Rudyard Kipling's Jungle Books, human characters with animals. It guides us through a series of events in an orderly manner. Some are fictional but some are factual. All kinds of writing that tell a story can be considered a narrative. Now let's look at the example for fictional narratives and non-fictional narratives. Fictional narratives, which includes short story, novels, folklore, and literature. But in non-fiction narratives includes autobiography or life writing, biography, news report, newspaper essay, historical accounts of incidents, testimonies, or confessions. Looks. General characteristics in narrative writings. Plot is the events that make up the narrative. Settings, the location and time of events. Characters, the people in the narratives. A protagonist, the central character. An antagonist, the character against the protagonist. Conflict, a problem caused by opposing forces. Resolution is a climax which offers a solution to the conflict. Then the point of view, the perspective for telling a story. Guidelines to write narrative essay. Deal with the writer's personal experiences. The opening paragraph introduces settings and the protagonist. Arrange body paragraph with a sense of time. Message could be clear in final paragraph. Guidelines to write narrative essay. It maintains curiosity in the reader. It uses conversational expressions. Physical expressions helps to visualize. Conflict and problems create suspense and which leads to climax. You can write essay on a variety of topics. Number 2, description. Ability to describe people, place, and things is important skill in communication. Description appeals to senses and it creates an impression in the reader. It should be vivid and interesting. Attitude of the describer is prime important. So description contains subjectivity, personal likes and dislikes. You can also give objective description, giving likes and dislikes. One of the ways to be objective is adding illustrations, photos, or some visual materials. In subjective descriptions, give your personal impression. If you want to inform your audience, write objectively. Or if you want to evoke emotion, write subjectively. Features of descriptive writing. Your essay can be full length or integrated with other writings. Depends. 2 types of description, subjective and objective. A thesis statement in descriptive writing can be explicit or implicit. Arrange the description in chronological order. Use sensory details, which is sight, sound, smell, taste and touch. Use active verbs for better impression. Use figurative language only if you are permitted to be subjective. Number 3, illustration, which means explain with example. An essay can be clarified if we use proper illustration, for example, the chart and statistics. A persuasive or argumentative essay requires a lot of illustration. Exemplification refers to illustrated writings. Features of illustrated writings. An idea is presented and supported with example. Example serves as a proof of your statement. Use specific examples. Audience is taken into account while selecting example. Use enough examples. Picture, chart, graph, etc. can be used. Arrange the examples in order to relevance. Maintain the point of view throughout. Use transition phrases like for instance, for example, to illustrate, what example, another example, etc. Number 4. Argumentation is also called passive writing. Main objective is to persuade the reader to think the way the writer thinks. Here, you give your opinion in a convincing manner. You have to be logical and clear. An argument may be about anything: politics, books, sports, or movies. It may be academic or non-academic issue. The purpose is to convince your reader. An argument is a debatable statement, may or may not be agreed by others. These statements are classified into 2: premises and conclusions. Any argument, there is at least one premises and one conclusion. A premise can have more than one supporting statements. A conclusion drawn from the premises. An argumentative essay can be written only on debatable statement. No argument on facts like plants absorb carbon dioxide from air. Features of argumentative writing. Author takes standpoint. The thesis is an argument is a claim that the author makes. Author's claims is only one side. The aim is to make the reader accept the author's point of view. Author has to explain why he thinks he is right. Reason of argument should have evidence. The author has to think of the possible counter-argument and defend his position. A claim is not a final word. Others may refute your claim and they may have their own reasons. Argumentative writing is most democratic. Number 5. Comparison and contrast. It is natural to look for similarities and dissimilarities. The main aim is to analyze the subject. It does not aim at stating the outward similarities and dissimilarities but hidden one. Example, compare flats and house. Comparative and contrastive analysis can be done in two ways. Similarities in one part and dissimilarities in another. It has 4 sessions. 1. Introduction. To include the thesis statement and the items to be compared and contrasted. Number 2. Comparison. Comparing two things showing similarities. Number 3. Contrast. Showing the differences in two items. Number 4. Conclusion. It's a brief summary and final opinion. Identify the points to be compared and contrasted and then analyze each point. Its structure, which includes number 1. Introduction. To include a thesis statement with a hint at the major items to be compared and contrasted. Number 2. Paragraph 1, 2 and 3. Discuss an item each of both comparison and contrast. Number 3. Conclusion. Summarize the point and final statement. Number 6. Cause and effect. Example, when you miss the college bus, you have a reason for it. Its effect is you miss an important lesson. In academic writing, you may require to incorporate cause and effect analysis. Sample cause and effect questions. Why did the government demonetize high denomination notes? What was its effect? Road accidents have killed more people than contagious disease. give their cause and effect. Features of cause and effect essays. Demands inquiry into reasons and its effect. These types of writing is also called causal analysis. It deals with causes, effects, or both of an issue, a phenomenon, or an event. Number 7. Definition. A way of explaining a word or phrase. The word may refer to an object, idea, and concept, type of person, place, or phenomenon. For example, define photosynthesis. Some explanation need full essay as an answer. But some contexts you need only short sentence to define something. General instruction for writing definition. Understand the audience. Objective tone is better. You can make your own definition. If you are choosing somebody's definition, say whose is this? Giving background information will be helpful. Some terms have different definition in different contexts. Make sure your definition is appropriate to the essay. Sometimes you can start defining the term by saying how it is constituted. Whatever need the dictionary meaning. Try to find out the etymology of the word. Nine. Process analysis. It explains how something happens or works. Information process written in third person. Or how to do something. Directional process. Communicate directly to the reader. For example, cookbook, instruction manuals, user guides, and self-help books. It explains the steps involved in doing something. For example, how to make a cup of tea. Classification and division. Example, different courses in your college, that is UG and PG. In UG, you have BA, BSc, and BCom courses. In BA, you have BA English, BA Sociology, and BA History. General guidelines for classification. The item should share some common characteristics. Decide the criterion of classification. Examples and explanation are to be given for each category. Mention what you are planning to classify in the introduction. Transition words like the first type, the second type, etc. can be used.